the sealed book of Mormon, chapter 49. And now Jesus taught many things unto his disciples concerning the equality of the children of God. And the cause of this inequality among the people was due to their division into families, and also because of the riches that some had over another. And Jesus commanded against riches, because he knew that when one had more than another, then he who had more cared little for the way in which he received his riches, nor did he care for those who had less than himself. And Jesus taught the people that the leaders of the church were wealthy men who enjoyed the things of the world and the associations that they had with those in power outside of the church, even the politicians and the leaders of the governments under which the church was subjected according to the laws of the land. And the only income that came into the church came by way of the tithes and offerings that the people gave unto the church as they were commanded by their leaders. And the Jews who were rich were prideful in that which they gave unto the church, because they gave much more than the poor, thus justifying themselves in their wickedness, believing that because of the abundance of which they gave unto the church, they were more blessed than the poor, who gave little or nothing at all. And now I have given unto you a brief account of Jacob, the father of Mary, who was assigned by the church to sell those animals to the people that came up to the temple to worship and make sacrifice unto God according to the law of Moses. And in the time of Jesus, the law of Moses had been corrupted and changed considerably, even that the original purpose and meaning of the sacrifice of animals, as well as the manner in which they were sacrificed, had been changed, so that the people did not understand that which they did in offering up sacrifices, but the people did these things according to their traditions, that they might fulfill the requirements of salvation as they had been taught to believe by their leaders. And Jacob, being employed by the church to sell for money the animals that the people needed to make the appropriate sacrifices, as they supposed, knew that the church had corrupted the laws of God and replaced them with the commandments and precepts of men. And because he knew these things, he could not sell the animals that he had raised by command of the church, and who had set the price for them, to those who were poor and could not afford to pay for that which they needed to participate in what they believed to be the ordinances of their salvation. And Jesus also knew of these things. And when he had come into Jerusalem according to the tradition of the Passover, he found in the temple those who sold oxen and sheep and doves, and also the money changers who had been commissioned by the church to accept the money of the people, no matter in what form it was received. And everything that was done by the church was done for a profit. For the leaders believed that it was within their stewardship to make sure that the money that was received in the name of the Lord should be used wisely to make more money for the church, which they believed was the will of the Lord. For this reason, they had commanded Jacob to make a profit of everything that he sold. And when Jesus beheld these things, his spirit groaned exceedingly within him, and he left that place and withdrew himself a ways off from among the people. And he cried unto the Father, saying, O my Father, how is it that thou canst suffer such wickedness of thy children? Behold, they are taught to believe that by their money they shall buy their salvation, and assure a place in thy kingdom, because of the things of the world that they believe they give unto thee as tithes and offerings. O my Father, forgive me, thy Son, for my sorrow, and that which I am about to do. Behold, I cannot bear to see the people do this thing and disgrace that which should be sacred and available to all of thy children for their instruction, but which their leaders have turned into a den of thieves. And Jesus became aware of his own indignation, which he had for the people who were desecrating the temple. But he did not act upon the emotions of his anger, and held all these things within him in control, according to the commandment of the Father. For the Spirit of God alloweth reproving at times with sharpness, when moved upon by the Holy Ghost, but then a showing forth afterwards of an increase of love towards them who have been reproved, lest they esteem him that reproveth to be their enemy. But Jesus was already hated by the Jews, even though he had showed forth exceeding love for them. And he thought in himself that perhaps a reproof of their sins with sharpness might be the cause of some of them listening better to his words. And after he prayed to the Father, Jesus made a scourge of small cords and took the time to ponder on that which he was about to do. And with the whip that he had made, he drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the money of the changers, and overthrew their tables. And he could not drive out the doves that were in their cages, but had compassion on them in their state of captivity, and did not overturn them, but commanded those who sold them, saying, Take these things hence, make not the house of my Father a house of merchandise. And now all these things were in similitude of that which shall come to pass in the latter days among those of you who belong to the church of Jesus Christ of the latter days. Yea, even your temples and your church shall be like unto the temple of the Jews. For ye shall believe that it is necessary that ye receive the ordinances of salvation as ye suppose, and cause that any who would receive these things should pay money for that which they receive. And in the tithing that ye require of them, ye make it requisite that it be paid in full before ye allow any to enter into the temple and perform what ye believe are the saving ordinances of God. Now, are not your works the same works as the works of the Jews? Yea, do not your leaders command these things of you? And do they not take the money which ye give unto them in the name of the Lord, and use it to buy up the things of the earth, that they might gain honour and glory of men, and the praise of the world? Yea, ye perceive in your hearts that because your church is rich, and your synagogues and your temples are of such beauty and exquisite workmanship, that the people of the world will be drawn unto you. But when they are drawn unto you, and they begin to believe that they shall find the words of Christ within you, even because you have more testimonies of these words than they have, yea, when they come unto you, do ye not make it a requirement that they purchase their salvation by the payment of tithes and offerings to the church? Now, in what difference can ye justify your actions compared to the actions of the Jews, who sold for a price the means of salvation among them? And how can ye not understand the words which I wrote unto you in the part of this record that shall not be sealed, and is already among you? Did I not prophesy concerning you, even that I said unto you, and caused to be repeated already in this sealed record, that my words might penetrate the shell of your stiff-neckedness and hard-heartedness? I wrote unto you, Behold, I speak unto you as if ye were present, and yet ye are not. But, behold, Jesus Christ hath shown you unto me, and I know your doing, and I know that ye do walk in the pride of your hearts, and that there are none save a few only who do not lift themselves up in the pride of their hearts unto the wearing of very fine apparel, unto envying and strifes and malice and persecutions and all manner of iniquities. And your churches, yea, even every one, have become polluted because of the pride of your hearts. For behold, ye do love money, and your substance, and your fine apparel, and the adorning of your churches, more than ye love the poor and the needy, the sick and the afflicted. O ye pollutions, ye hypocrites, ye teachers, who sell yourselves for that which will canker. Why have ye polluted the holy church of God? Why are ye ashamed to take upon you the name of Christ? Why do ye not think that greater is the value of an endless happiness than that misery which never dies because of the praise of the world? Why do ye adorn yourselves with that which hath no life, and yet suffer the hungry and the needy and the naked and the sick and the afflicted to pass by you, and notice them not? Yea, why do you build up your secret combinations to get gain, and cause that widows should mourn before the Lord, and also orphans to mourn before the Lord, and also the blood of their fathers and their husbands to cry unto the Lord from the ground for the vengeance upon your heads? Behold, the sword of vengeance hangeth over you, and the time soon cometh that he avengeth the blood of the saints upon you, for he will not suffer their cries any longer. Behold, do not my words have any meaning unto you? Do you not understand them when they are written in such plainness? Why do you think that ye can take the money that ye receive in the name of the Lord from the people, and do with it that which is an abomination in his sight? And now, if these things of which I have prophesied concerning you could have been the only abominations that ye shall do before the Lord, I might have more hope for your souls. But ye have caused that my own name shall be raised up in glory, and presented unto the world in a manner which is most abominable before our Father, and of which I am exceedingly ashamed. Behold, ye have made statues of gold, and have called them by my name, and have placed them upon your temples, even these houses of Satan, that ye believe are the houses of holiness unto the Lord. And in sorrow I have seen these things, and shrink from the knowledge that ye have used my name and my persona in this manner. And I have asked the Lord that if it be possible, that he make an intercession and stop this abomination in my name. But he hath suffered it according to his will, that the judgments that he shall pour out upon you shall be justified when he avengeth the blood of the true saints of God, and gathered his elect from among you. And those of you who are rich, and believe that ye give much unto God by the abundance that ye give unto your church, I ask of you, do you think that the Lord is in need of your money and your abundance? Know ye not that he can create gold from dust, and cause that which is a gold to return to the dust from which it was made? Then why think ye that your money is a gift, or a righteous offering unto him? Behold, hath he not commanded you to do unto others as ye would have them do unto you? And what if your neighbour, who doth not belong to your church, is in need of something? Would you give unto him that which he desireth of you? And now, if ye were poor, and had not the things that the rich possess, would it not be that ye would want the rich to feed you, even if it meant from the scraps of their tables? And I say unto you who are rich, that the scraps from your tables are all that is required of you to give unto those that are poor. And if ye do this, then ye can rejoice in the riches that ye desire. But if your scraps fall into the mouths of ravenous dogs, then what shall be left for those that would gain from your scraps? And your leaders and your church are these dogs. that steal from the poor because of their fine clothing and their fine buildings and the adorning of their temples. Therefore, why should you give of your scraps unto them? I say unto you, give your scraps to the poor, who are in need of them to improve their lot. And if you allow them your scraps, then your Father will justify that which ye covet for yourselves. But if ye say within yourselves, the dogs are of my own house, therefore they alone shall eat of my scraps, yea, even if ye continue to give of your abundance to the church to which ye belong, ye shall have no reward in heaven, but shall be condemned for that which ye have done above those who are your brothers and sisters before God. And Jesus spoke likewise unto the Jews, when on one occasion he had been questioned by the leaders of the Jews. And in order to teach unto them this principle that I have just given unto you, he said unto them in his doctrine, Beware of the scribes, which love to go in long clothing, and love salutations in the marketplaces, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and the uppermost rooms at feasts, who devour the houses of widows, and for a pretence make long prayers. These shall receive greater damnation. And to show to his disciples what he meant concerning the wickedness of the leaders and the rich who supported these leaders, he took his disciples and sat over against the treasury, and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury. And many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and saith unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living. And of a truth I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all. For all these have of their abundance cast in unto the offerings of God, but she of her penury hath cast in all the living that she had. And his disciples began to understand the words of Jesus, and they beheld the temple, and how it was adorned, and the amount of money that was required for its upkeep and maintenance. And as they spoke of the temple, and how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, Jesus said unto them, As for these things which ye behold, the days will come, in the which there shall be not left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And now I, Moroni, do prophesy unto ye of the latter days, yea, if ye do not repent of the great abominations that ye have committed in the name of the Lord, even in all those things that I have just explained unto you, then at the day of the Lord shall every one of your temples be thrown down and destroyed according to his words. And then shall I have my vengeance upon you for that which ye have done with my name. For behold, the statues that ye have erected of me shall sit upon the mounds of rubble that were once your great temples of gold and silver and all manner of precious things. And now Jesus hath shown unto us in many ways in the records that ye already have among you, how the rich are cursed, while the poor are blessed. Yet the rich justify that which they have over another, because in their pride they think that they deserve their riches because of the work that they did to obtain these riches, and that the beggar in his laziness is justified in that he hath nothing. And in this ye are mistaken. And except ye repent and begin to understand the will of the Father concerning all of his children, ye shall be in a state of hell when ye die. And the Lord gave another parable concerning these things unto the Jews, saying, There was a certain rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day because of that which he acquired of his business. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, who was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the table of the rich man, was laid close upon the gate by those of the church, who would not help him. But the church did give unto Lazarus just that which would keep him alive. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores in similitude of the things that he received from the church. And it came to pass that the beggar died, and his spirit was carried by the angels into the spirit world, where he was received into the bosom of his fathers, or those who were there to greet him in the spirit world. And the rich man also died, and was buried, and his spirit was also carried into the spirit world. But he was received not in a state of joy and rest, as was Lazarus, but in a state of hell, where he lifted up his eyes, being in a state of torment that is given unto them that have done wickedly in mortality. And he seeth the righteous fathers afar off, and Lazarus in their bosom. And he cried and said, O righteous father Abraham. And this he said because of his traditions, not knowing the true Father. Have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, and forgive me for that which I did not do unto him in mortality. For I am tormented in this flame of my soul. But the righteous spirits said unto him, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And beside all this, between the spirit world and mortality, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from the state of your misery back into mortality to change their actions in life cannot, neither can they which are mortal pass unto us, even those who shall come from thence. For thou canst not enter back into mortality and change that which thou hast done, seeing that thou art now dead. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, righteous Father, that thou wouldst send Lazarus as a spirit to the house of my father. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. And the righteous spirit saith unto him, They have Moses and the prophets, and all the commandments and laws that these have given unto thy brethren. Therefore let them hear them. And he said, Nay, righteous Father, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And the Spirit said unto him, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, and obey not their words, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. And now this is the state of all of you who are rich, and have set yourselves above your brother in the things which ye possess, even that ye withhold from him that which might make him happier than the state in which he suffereth. And now I would once again refer you to the great discourse given unto the people of Zarahemla by King Benjamin, who had witnessed this wickedness of which I have spoken among his own people. And he caused all the people of the land to be gathered together, and he said unto them, My brethren, all ye that have assembled yourselves together, ye who can hear my words which I shall speak unto you this day, for I have not commanded you to come up hither to trifle with the words which I shall speak, but that ye should hearken unto me, and open your ears that ye may hear, and your hearts that ye may understand, and your minds that the mysteries of God may be unfolded to your view. I have not commanded you to come up hither, that ye should fear me, or that ye should think that I of myself am more than a mortal man. But I am like as yourselves, subject to all manner of infirmities in body and mind. Yet I have been chosen by this people, and consecrated by my Father, and was suffered by the hand of the Lord, that I should be a ruler and king over this people, and have been kept and preserved by his matchless power, to serve you with all the might, mind, and strength, which the Lord hath granted unto me. I say unto you, that as I have been suffered to spend my days in your service, even up to this time, and have not sought gold, nor silver, nor any manner of riches of you, neither have I suffered that ye should be confined in dungeons, nor that ye should make slaves one of another, nor that ye should murder, or plunder, or steal, or commit adultery, nor even have I suffered that ye should commit any manner of wickedness, and have taught you that ye should keep the commandments of the Lord in all things which he hath commanded you. And even I myself have laboured with mine own hands, that I might serve you, and that ye should not be laden with taxes, and that there should nothing come upon you which was grievous to be borne. And all these things which I have spoken, ye yourselves are witnesses this day. Yet, my brethren, I have not done these things that I might boast, neither do I tell these things that thereby I might accuse you, but I tell you these things that ye may know that I can answer a clear conscience before God this day. Behold, I say unto you, that because I said unto you that I had spent my days in your service, I do not desire to boast, for I have only been in the service of God. And behold, I tell you these things, that you may learn wisdom, that you may learn that when ye are in the service of your fellow beings, ye are only in the service of your God. Behold, ye have called me your king, and if I, whom ye call your king, do labour to serve you, then ought not ye labour to serve one another. And behold, also, if I, whom ye call your king, who hath spent his days in your service, and hath been in the service of God, do merit any thanks from you, oh, how ye ought to thank your heavenly King.